Thank you so much, GS, for this chance. Our chief guest, Your Excellency, Rigathi Gachagua, allow me to recognize and to appreciate us being in this church, Bishop Kagwe, Bishop Karanja, and the whole of your clergy. Thank you so much. Our Governor, Kangata. We have CS Alice Muthoni Wahome, and we have also the Secretary to the Cabinet, Mase Wajau, all other members of Parliament from the National Assembly and also from Senate, members of the County Assembly, and I think all the congregation that we are here today for the church service. Hamjambo. God is good, and all the time, God is good. I think we have a very short time because His Excellency, the Deputy, is going to attend another church service, and therefore, we are going to request you, please to bear with us so that he can be able to attend that other function. And therefore, for me, as the area member of Parliament, I do not want to say a lot, but I want to say that sometimes it is good to suffer for the good. And it is true, Regina Bernard and the bishop who are here, including the bride and groom, Mr. and Mrs. Minor, and even the ones who attended the church that day. Maybe you may ask, where was Wamaua? And this church is in the compound of Maragua constituency. Your Excellency, you remember those are the time that I was still low for the sake of development of this constituency. And I had so many projects that I was being threatened with that I dare, and all of them will be stopped. But towards the end, because we had talked with His Excellency, the President, William Samoei Ruto, that I will still be coming back. And that is what I had also told my sister Alice and my brother Ndindi Nyoro. I was still buying time. And during that day, because I knew that it would be ugly, there was a meeting for our committee at Mombasa. And therefore I said, I better go for the committee in Mombasa. I do not want to be present because still I was torn between the two for the sake of the people of Maragua constituency. But towards the end, lazima ningefuatana na ile serikali ilikuwa inaonekana itachukua ushukani. His Excellency, good friend, during the time we were still working together, and I was still promising them that we'll work together. Anyway, if the suffering will bear fruit, na mwishoe mkono wa Mungu uonekane, that is the way to go. Poreni sana, lakini kwa Mungu you are victorious. You have been written somewhere in the books zile tunaambiwa za ukubuku, yani ya buku ifukuri akelirikano. You are written there. I want to appreciate my dear sister Alice Wahome and Ndindi Nyoro, who stood for Murang'A County despite the pains and the suffering that were there, because they were able to start that. And I was telling them, I'm coming soon. I do not want to take a lot, but I want to appreciate the congregants of the AIPCA church here for the worthy work that you have done to make sure that this construction is the way it is, and even going extra miles to look for guests. I have had a time that I came as a guest to make sure here we are. My last point is to remember His Excellency, the President, William Samoei Ruto, for the time that he took and the way he has worked with this church. And that is why even today we are here, because he wants to see this church that is suffered that brought that time is completed, and he come in person to apologize to the Christians of this church and to tell God, it is true, you have worked with us and the house of God is complete. That is the time that we are also eagerly waiting, and His Excellency the Deputy has come to make sure that day will be good, will be great, and this church will be complete then. I do not want to add a lot. We are together with His Excellency, together with the other members. We will be talking much, and we have been talking much about the development of our constituency, and having His Excellency the Deputy President as a man of Mount Kenya Legion, and now representing and deputizing our President for the good of the whole nation. We know we have a shoulder to cry on, and therefore mambo mengine ya barabara ya nini hiyo tunajua ni maneno ambao tunaendelea kuongea na wao ndio tuone yenye imestore, yenye haijaanzishwa, hiyo kazi yote tuone imefanyika. But for today, because we just came to pray with you, let me stop there and request that whoever I call here, we have less than an hour, and there is an activity that we shall be doing here. So I request